Hello, One Paul here. Today I'm going to be talking about a new strategy, and I'm going to go over this new strategy for 4 different methods here. We're going to be going over crypto stocks, forex, and gold using this same strategy. I found this strategy by watching a 1-minute scalping video by a popular YouTuber. He hangs out with Da Vinci. Carl from the Moon. He did a 1-minute scalping strategy, and I looked at the video and I kind of, I usually find this right before the markets close, like new strategies. So I wasn't really able to explore much of it, but I've seen it in the charts. So I'm going to be going over this strategy. Now, I'm not going to be doing an identical strategy that I saw. It was based off of a 1-minute scalping strategy. But when I looked at the video, I'm like, this has to work for longer time frames. It has to work for to get better results, but for longer time frames. Because with the 1-minute scalping, you get nervous when you see the candle moving at 1 minute. So from what I could tell, from what it plugged it in, it works really well on longer time frames too. And this particular strategy, at least the one particular indicator here, I've seen used in many different. A lot of YouTubers talk about this indicator. It really helps. So I've seen people use this indicator with the 1348 strategy, and it kind of works as a added bonus to help you find better signals. Now, you need to have, and I'm going to show you the combination that you need for this video, but with this indicator, you need to have at least another indicator to confirm everything. But to kind of show you how it works today, we're going to be looking at it with the stock market. I'm going to show you how to get it going. And we'll look at SPY. We'll look at using it with SPX if you want to trade it on Forex. And we'll probably look at a couple stocks as well to see how well this works. But anyway, let's get started, and I'll show you how to set everything up. Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to set this up with doing it with SPY. We'll look at it using SPX too if you want to do this on Forex. And we'll look at a couple other stocks. Now, there's only 2 indicators that you need for this to work. But first, let's show up the first one here because it's it's a little bit of a step process here. You want to go to linear regression candles. So you go here to your settings here. You want to go to linear regression candles right here. But let's just hide this first one. When you first load it here, it's going to look, well, first let's just load it with candles. Okay, so it's going to look confusing at first when you load it. One first step that you got to do here is you got to hide your candles because you're dealing with linear candles, not the regular candles. So you hide it, and then what you do is you go to your settings, and you can change your color here, your candles to green and red. I choose different colors from green to red. I don't like looking at green and red. So I change the color myself. That's personal preference. And then you want to go to your plot line here, and you want to make it, well, I changed the color to yellow, but you can change it whatever color you want. By default, it'll be white. And you can make it thick if you want to, more thick. But when you're done here, and I'm going to remove this because I already have it. When you're done, it's going to kind of look like this. You hid the regular candles, and I got the linear line right here, and the linear line is yellow. I choose to make it yellow so it stands out. But that's basically how you set that up. Setting this up is very, very important, and this is kind of identical to what the original video had on there. And then the next one you want to load up is STC. So if you go to STC, this is the shaft trend. I'll load that up real quick again here. It's the STC, the shaft trend. And you'll notice a difference in them. Now, what I do is I customize it. I basically I just have it way to where the lines, the top and bottom lines, are more visible. So I would, this is just personal preference. For the upper, I would change to white and make it, just make it more, show out more. There's that, and that's basically all. I get rid of the middle background because I'll explain why in this video. But at the end of the day, it'll kind of look like this. It'll just look like this right here, where you got your two lines. You can see the two lines clearly, and basically the strategy is really simple. Now, when I watched the original video, it was based off of a 1-minute scalping strategy. So I did this, and I did it based off of, and I tried the 1-minute scalping strategy with doing options trading, and it just made me a little nervous doing it on the 1 minute, but I did make profit. The last 2 days, I made profit doing options. I made $41 in 2 days doing it, but based off of the 1 minute scalping. So I did that, and because it makes me a little nervous doing it on the 1 minute, I've changed things up, and I said this has to work for doing longer time frames. So what I did is, after I made those gains, I focused on longer time frames like the hour. And what you basically want to do is you're going to make your choices here based off of the linear regression line here. So if you're looking for, now the original video that I watched also has UT bought signals, buy and sell signals, but I do not use them. The original video uses buy and sell signals, but what I want to kind of say is you base it off of, what I found out is if you just base it off of those buy and sell signals, there's a lot of signals that it misses. So I don't bother with it, because if you just depend on buy and sell signals, you are going to miss out on a lot of the other signals. So I want to kind of teach you guys to find the signals without, buy and sell signals. So let's look at SPY real quick here. Now, the objective here is you want to enter. Now, the reason I faded out the center here is I don't do any trade if there's anything going on. If the lines are going on anywhere in this center, I do not do any trades. I only focus when it's crossing up, crossing down, crossing up, or crossing down. These are the moments that I get in. I wait for it to cross right here, or cross down right here, or cross up right here, or cross down right here. Those are the moments I get in. So what we want to look for is it crossing up through the line, crossing down through the line, crossing up through the line, crossing down to the line. So when it's crossing up here, you're going to be doing a call. When it's crossing down here, you're going to be doing a put. Crossing up here, you're going to be doing a call. Crossing down here, you're going to be doing a put. So that's basically how it goes. And we can check this on the SPY real quick. We're going to see SPY, and then we're going to... What you want to do is before you even make that call, you have to check two things here. So let's just say right here we see it crossing up. You want to make sure that the candles, the linear candles, are above the linear line. They have to be above the linear line for that move to happen. Same thing for when it goes down. The candles have to be below the linear line in order to take the trade. If all that matches up, then you can do the trade. So an example right here with doing the S&P 500 here, you would come in right here, right about here. You see it crossing on the STC right here. So you would enter your trade right here. You exit your trade when the candle goes through the line. So that's right here. So this is where you exit. Your entry point is on the STC when you see it crossing. Your exit point is when the candle is going through the STC line. So we can see that this little move right here was a 4.65 difference in price. This was about $400, $465 if you did an options contract. So let's look at this one right here, this next one here. You see it crossing down right here. We see it go. The candles are below the linear line. You see it crossing down on the STC right here. So you would enter your trade right here, and you would write it out until the candle, which hasn't happened yet. You write it out till the candle goes back up through the linear line. So you could write this out for longer if you wanted. But this was a 2-day, this was 2 days, and this was about $825 if you rode this entire thing out. So if you do this, you notice the patterns with SPY here is goes down, goes up, 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 goes down, goes up. You see the pattern. When it goes down, it goes up. So what we could see that coming like Monday morning, it's probably going to go back up. So what we would have to do come Monday morning is we would have to wait for this to cross up here, and we have to make sure that the candles are above the linear line. That's the next move if you want to do it like this. So I showed you how to do this with SPY and doing it with option contracts. Let's look at SPX, where you do this on Forex. And it's going to be the identical thing. Pretty similar. Be pretty similar. Except the only thing difference is you're doing this on Forex. So it's the same thing. It crosses down. It's below the linear line. And this whole thing is profit right here. If you did your lot size, you came in right here and you rode the whole thing out right here to here. This is a $66 difference in price. The pip move here would have been 6,680 pips right there. So then the see happens again. This is almost identical to what I was just talking about. Crosses up, and you could have rode this whole thing out. You see it cross right here on the linear, on the STC, and you could have rode this out till it goes back through the line. And this is a $45 difference in price. Pip move there is about 4,584. So if you dealt with a dollar lot size, you would have made $4,584. So you get the idea with doing this with, I showed you on SPY and I showed you on SPX. Let's look at a couple stocks here. Some other stocks. Let's do NVIDIA. See if this works for NVIDIA. Okay, so what we want to look for, now, this is not going to have a consistent up, down like SPY does. So the patterns are going to be a little bit different. So the last entry point, if we look at the STC, was right here. So if we have to look and make sure the candle is below the linear line, which is right here. So we could erode this entire thing out from here, and we see below that it still is red, so that your entry point would have been, your exit point would actually be right here where it starts to go back through the line. So this would have been a $33 difference in price. So we see this happen again right here on the STC. We see it crossing up. So this is our entry point. We see that the candles are above the linear line. So we come in right about here. And we can ride this thing out until it goes right back through the linear line again. And this is a $46 difference in price. So it works really well for NVIDIA, and it works really well for a lot of stocks. Let's look at MicroStrategy, which, MicroStrategy, they're very expensive contracts. But you could also use this technique if you want to find all the moments where it's going up. You don't necessarily have to do options contracts. You can find high percentage. You could come in right before it starts going up, and you could sell right before it starts going back down again. So we'll use that as a scenario here. But if you were to do this as an options contract, which is very expensive, but you see it crossing on the STC. You see it crossing on the STC right here. And it's the same thing. You would come in right here, and you would ride this out till it goes back through the linear line, which is right here. This is a $247 difference in price. If you were doing an options contract, let's just, I think it's it's a lot of money. I think that this is a lot of money. I'm not even going to go into that. But if you were just riding it out as in trading it every time it goes up, you're dealing with a 16% increase in your profit here. So if you only focus on all the moments where it goes up, you just made a 16% gain there. Now let's look again right here. You see on the STC that it crossed right here. So you see that the candle is above the linear line right here. So if you ride this out from here all the way up here to the top, if you bought MicroStrategy and you wrote it out, this is a 26% increase in almost 4 days. So there's a 26% increase in 4 days. That's pretty good. So let's look at one more stock. Or maybe a couple more. Let's see. Stocks. Let's look at some here. Let's do Coinbase. Coinbase has been interesting lately because of what's going to be happening in the next month. But, this is the same thing. The last time that it crossed down right here. It crossed down right here. So it crossed down right here with the STC. So this is where you would enter. And you ride it out until it goes back through the linear line, which is right here. This is a $13 difference in price. And let's see where it happens again. We see it crossing up right here. And we see it going up through the linear line. And we cross right here, ride this out till it goes through the line. It kind of goes through right here. So this is a $15 difference in price. So you can see that this works extremely well for the stock market. It's definitely a really good strategy for if you're doing option contracts. It really picks up the movements of when it goes up and down. You'll be able to easily detect when you have to do a call and when you have to do a put. It kind of narrows it down. It kind of helps things out. Now, everything that goes on in the middle here, I don't pay attention. If there's any kind of movement or up down moments here in the middle, I do not focus. I only focus on when it's either crossing up here, crossing down there, crossing up here, or crossing down there. Those are the moments that I focus on. And then you got to focus on the linear candles, and they got to match the movement of what's happened with the STC. So that is kind of a highly effective strategy for trading stocks with this strategy. So if you want to watch the original video that I found, I'll put a link below. The original video was based off of a 1-minute scalping video by another YouTuber. But anyway, I like going through and seeing what works and kind of tweaking it. I do think that this works better for longer time frames, especially for the stock market. You saw the results there that really helps find all the good moments to start getting in for calls and puts. And even with MicroStrategy, it helps you find those big percentage gains. So anyway, this strategy works really well for me. I just started doing it on the last couple of days, and I based it off of a 1-minute scalping strategy that I got from that video. But come Monday, I'm going to start doing this on the longer time frame and see how well it works. But anyway, it works really well for the stock market. I'm going to be going over this again for crypto, gold, and Forex. So anyway, if you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. See you guys for these videos.